Hey folks, I just want to remind you to check out my eBay store at SeemsGoodMagic.com for some playsets and singles. I also want to remind you to check out live stream times, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. And also follow us on Twitter at SeemsGoodMagic. Thanks, and enjoy the video. Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here for yet another Theros Swiss draft. What have we got here? Psychic Intrusion is rare. Don't like it. In limited, especially. A little too expensive. What else have we got that's worth something or good in draft? Nessian Asp, of course. If you watch my videos, you know I love that card. Probably picking the Asp, but what else is good in here? Evangel of Heliod, good. Sealock Monster, Battlewise Hoplite. Borderland Minotaur is playable, so is this Minotaur. Plenty of playable cards in here. I think I'm just going to opt into the Asp. Love that card. Battlewise Hoplite commits me to 2 colors right in the beginning, and although good, I don't think that I need it. I do think it's a good card though. I appreciate it. Let's take the Asp. All right, follow-up pick. I think we're happily snatching up Nemesis of Mortals. But what else is good in here? Griptide, Insatiable Harpy, Burnished Heart. Prescient Chimera, Divine Verdict, Voyage's End. All the good blue cards, good black cards, and of course good green cards. But we're going to snatch up Nemesis. Awesome monstrosity creature. Alright, now I think we're going to go with the removal on this one, although I would like to take the Courser. We're just going to snatch up Time to Feed. And Triton Tactics is also good, as is Titan Strength, Breaching Hippocamp. Haven't played the Acolyte. It's a little too expensive, I think, to where you really wouldn't need ramp by the time you get it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? And Vaporkin also in here is good. Let's take Time to Feed. Okay, so we're officially out of good green picks. So what direction do we want to go? We can go red, take the Borton of Betrayal. We can go blue, take Triton Tactics. I think we probably want the Tactics as an excellent, excellent combat trick. Both offensively and defensively. Vanquish the Foul, pretty good against what we already have, but I like green-blue a lot, as a matter of fact. And you get some really good options in green-blue. I got just steamrolled in my last stream, and I had like one of the sickest green-blue decks I think I've ever had, and I went like 1-2, so I was pretty perturbed by that. Let's take the Triton Tactics. Well, here's a Colossus of Akros. Do I think I can get to 10 mana easily? Well, my opponent did in my last stream. Much to my chagrin. Voyaging Satyr seems like it's already going to be way better in here. Then I can just load up on 5 and 6 drops. I mean, Colossus is cool and all, but it's so expensive. There's a big difference between a 6 drop that gets cheaper and an 8 drop that it's going to need you to get 10 mana before you can do anything with it. Let's take the Voyaging Satyr. Alright. Now we have Aqueous Form. I think that's fine. Also the Ordeal. These Ordeals are pretty playable. Two-Headed Cerberus in red. Just take Aqueous Form. We already have fatties I'd like to put it on, so I can get behind that. Alright. Fate Foretold, Ordeal of Nylea. I think we can take the Ordeal pretty safely. And what else is good in here? Not much. Portent. Traveler's Amulet's playable. God's Willing, pretty good. God's Willing or Portent are probably the strongest card in the pack. Let's take the Ordeal. Hopefully we can pick up 1 or 2 of the green heroic guys, as they tend to be very good. at least very good with what we already have, like Staunch Hearted Warrior, obviously good with Aqueous Form, Ordeal, Triton Tactics, Time to Feed, and then the Centaur Battlemaster, 5-drop, 3/3. They just get huge amounts of +1/+1 counters with Heroic. Alright, I think we can easily take Breaching Hippocamp. This card tends to work really well when you have fat creatures that you can swing in and then flash in your Breaching Hippocamp, untap them, do some surprise blocks. I like it more than the Centaurs. Fits the curve a little bit better too. Alright, now I guess we can just take Vulpine Goliath, take some more fatties, hope to pick up some more satyrs, maybe an Opaline Unicorn or two. Those are typically the decks I like to do in this format. Get a little bit of early ramp, get a good amount of powerful 5 and 6 drops, and go Survivor. I think aggro is definitely, well, here's our out to that Colossus, but I think it's actually a totally main deckable spell. There's so many good enchantments with Bestow in this format, so this is actually a really good card to get late. What was I saying? Oh, you just need to go Survivor mode. So as long as you can live to start playing your 5 and 6 drops in these kind of mid-range decks, you should do fine. We're going to hate the Titan Strength because that usually goes in aggressive decks. And aggressive decks are typically good against what we're trying to do. Alright, let's take the Sandals over the Commune with Gods. I don't think I'm going to play this. Could have used a few more creatures, but that's alright. The creatures we do have, I'm very happy with. Hopefully we can find at least another Voyaging Satyr and some more high-end guys that are good. Alright, so plan is green-blue. Not completely sold in blue yet, but there are some good blue-green picks that would help this deck a lot. Ooh, Spear of Heliod. Spear of Heliod might make me just want to move into green-white, because we do have the Setessan Griffin already. And Spear of Heliod's just good. Spear of Heliod is just plain good. Like this card. Boost your creatures, suddenly have a way to destroy their creatures. If I wanted to maintain my thing I'm doing here, I'd probably just pick the Staunch Hearted Warrior. But I actually think Spear of Heliod at this point in the draft, early enough, where it's just, let's just opt into green-white and take this awesome card. Alright, now we can take Nessian Courser. We can also take the Staunch Hearted Warrior as well. If we were to take out the blue, we suddenly have much less cards that trigger Heroic. We have Ordeal, we have Time to Feed. Still early, so I could get more. I do kind of like the consistency of Courser in this deck, though. I mean, Staunch Hearted Warrior is definitely better with Time to Feed. It's definitely better with Ordeal. We don't have a 4-drop, though. And we do already appear to be a bit clunky. Alright, I think I gotta go with the Courser. Staunch Hearted Warrior is a better card. I'm concerned about not having enough early game. And if I fill up with just a bunch of 4, 5, 6s, like 4-drop 2/2s that require some more stuff, I'm just a little concerned that I'm going to have a hard time. Oh my god. Well, Arbor Colossus it is. What else we got in here? Warrior's Lesson, which I underrated, is better. Grey Merchant of Asphodel, somehow making constructed play now. Can you believe it? I was very surprised to see a 5-drop 2/4 with a Soul Drain effect on it make constructed. Pretty amazing. And let me tell you, beastly. Whip of Erebus and Grey Merchant, straight up constructed. Alright, happily taking Arbor Colossus. This card is so strong. Horizon Chimera, ugh. Almost wish I'd stayed in the blue, but that's alright. We're probably just going to take the Nylea's Disciple instead. Last Breath's pretty cool. Ordeal is fine. But Nylea's Disciple, we've already got a ton of green, and it just buys you time. I like it. So let's do that. Jeez. Erebus's Emissary is good. I think we're just going to take the Ray of Dissolution over the creatures. This is also main deckable, like Fade into Antiquity. Once again, plenty of enchantments in this set. Flamecast Wheel, I mean, I've sideboarded into it before, but it's just a little bit underwhelming. Another Horizon Chimera. Agent's fine, just not amazing in this deck. We are a wee bit short on creatures. I think I'm going to take the Savage Surge. It's just a very powerful trick. Maybe white's getting cut now? So perhaps I should have stayed on the blue path, but we'll find out. Alright. Evangel doesn't seem very good in here yet. It's probably... I don't really like this card in general. It is very good with Spear, because it boosts all those guys, but let's take a second Time to Feed. We have enough fatties to support a ton of Time to Feeds in here. Alright, powerful black card going super late there, which is surprising. Could take the Last Breath. I think that's probably what we're going to do. Satyr, Hedonist, Bronze Sable, fine. Artisan Sorrow, at this point probably unnecessary. We've already got a couple solid pieces of removal for that. Last Breath is going to be the time buying spell. I think it's actually main deckable too. Let's take the Anvil Rot Raptor here. It flies, good blocker, good attacker when you need it. So I think it's fine. I don't think we have enough humans to support Cavalry Pegasus anyway. And that's not exactly what we're doing. Alright, we're going to take the Hunt the Hunter for sideboard. Alright, I think we're just going to take the Scholar. Not that we can, do anything with it, but just in case we need some more blockers. Let's start making cuts of stuff that I'd probably not like to main deck, so I probably don't want to main deck the Sandals. Everything else is okay. Could go for some upgrades, but it's alright. Artisan, Ox. Ox is probably going to be a sideboard option we need more, as is Guardians. Okay, so we're a little bit threat light. That's okay. We can find some in this third pack. Usually finding creatures isn't terribly difficult. Nykthos, let's make sure it's not worth anything, because for some crazy reason, Nykthos is worth, like, a bunch of money in real life. 3.3? Wait a second. Buying at 3? Alright, guys, sorry. Gotta take the Nykthos. A little bit too much there. What am I passing that's good? Phalanx Leader's fine. Opaline Unicorn's fine. Well, I'm actually not passing anything worth a damn anyway. So, am I going to play Nykthos? I mean, I am mostly green, but I don't know. I guess I could try it. I don't really have that much that matters. This is a mana sink. It's kind of a mana sink. Ooh, well, Fabled Hero's a great card to get. Feral Invocation, also good, but we are threat light, so let's take an awesome rare. Happily taking that. Okay, second Voyaging Satyr seems fine. Leafcrown Dryad, also quite good. It's a threat, bestows. How badly do I need ramp in here, though? I mean, I kind of want me some ramp. I need double white, which Voyaging Satyr just helps with tremendously if you see one white source. Leafcrown Dryad, though, that bestow. Awesome on the Fabled Hero. good to bestow, and then you have a good time to feed creature. I did really want double Voyaging Satyr, though. It's going to help our slower strategy get some momentum. But it's not like Leaf Crown Dryad doesn't help with that. You can play it as a 2-drop in a pinch. Otherwise, it makes your guys stronger. Ugh. I think there's enough upside. I got to take the Leaf Crown Dryad. Alright, sweet. Getting a second Nemesis of Mortals pretty happily. Hopeful Eidolon's very good, too. Hopeful Eidolon is a game flipper. But I think Nemesis of Mortals is one of the best fat creatures in this format. Just absolutely devastating in some instances. As is Hopeful Eidolon, too. This really does flip life totals, but I don't feel comfortable passing the Nemesis. It's just too big of a threat to pass. Alright. Second, Stephenson Griffin, otherwise Satyr Hedonist. Neither of which are particularly exciting. Alright, let's take the 5-drop, I guess. This deck could use just a couple more early threats, and I'll feel pretty comfortable with this deck. Alright, second Raptor or Agent of Horizons. Tons of good blue cards, by the way. Does look like I probably should have stuck with blue. But it happens. This is probably a little bit cheaper. Let's take the Agent. You can trade with some 3 toughness guys. Alright. Shredding Winds, awesome sideboard option to have access to in a pinch. Second Hunt the Hunter or second Shredding Winds. Let's take the second Shredding Winds. Let's take the Sable, just in case. Let's take the Prowler's Helmet, or Helm, excuse me, playable. I mean, we have plenty of fatties in here, so I could see it. Which one of these is the most annoying to go up against? Probably the Raider. Hoplight's good too, but it's a little more specific. Alright, Battle Priest is cool in case we need early game for sideboard. This deck, I felt like it fell short. I didn't quite latch onto the right plan. Although I am happy with a couple of the white picks we got since they're strong. I think I saw enough blue where I probably should have stuck with my initial impulse taking blue. I could have had a couple of Horizon Chimeras as well as some other good blue cards, but that's okay. I think I should be able to make this green-white thing work. I just sort of have to examine what my best strategy is. It's maybe an 18-land deck. All right. This is 22 with 18 lands. Am I missing anything integral to this strategy? I don't think so. Okay, so this was what it would look like with 18 lands, which I think we are going to do. I could see doing Ray of Dissolution over the Fade into Antiquity. Get some more life gain. And then main deck, if there's not even the only artifact that really matters that I'd have to sideboard into is the Colossus. So if I go up against that, I can sideboard into Fade into Antiquity. But I think overall the Ray of Dissolution is better for a couple reasons. The instant speed lets you wait until they attack in with something that's been bestowed, destroy their bestow, and then presumably block the creature effectively and destroy it. Yeah, I think we got to go 18 lands here. I've just got a lot of high end. If you look at the mana sinks in here, both of these are mana sinks. Both of these, this guy, even this thing's a mana sink. So just tons of stuff to dump my mana into. So having excessive mana shouldn't be an issue. I don't know if I'm sold on Nykthos yet or not. I mean, it sort of works. It's just... I mean, I can try it. I feel like I really need a lot of devotion to make it pay dividends, though. I may not even want it to mess with my mana early on, since it seems like this deck is going to have some issues early on. So perhaps instead of the Hedonist, why don't we do the Stephenson Battle Priest? A little better defensively, life gain in a pinch if I need it. And it's not like Hedonist is that great anyway. Alright, this deck looks okay. Yeah, I mean, it's alright. Some decent rares. Efficient. Very good uncommons to top off the deck. Decent tricks and removal. A little bit removal light. Last Breath. Couple time to feeds. Savage Surge. Decent. This deck's probably 7.5 out of 10, something like that. But yeah, I think we got to go 18 lands, so we're going to do that. We're going to add some lands. I'd rather do 11-7. I think I'd rather do 11-7. Alright, so deck is okay. Curve is a little bit strange, but I like our top end a lot. Like I said, I like our mana sinks. I think we can make this work. I think if I could go back, I'd probably stick with the blue strategy, blue-green, even though we did end up, like I said, with some pretty powerful white rares. I'm just not as thrilled with the finished product. But that's okay. All right, I'll see you guys round one.